Hey, what's happening, everybody? Scott Slater here again with another video this week. I know that a lot of you probably been wondering where you been, man. And I gotta say, I apologize for this last week. I kind of got distracted. Some things happened in my life. The schedule got a little crazy, and I neglected you all. I did not post a video. I'm sorry about that. We kind of got some things sorted out. I feel like we're back in the saddle. And so hopefully we'll be right back to consistency. And it's good to be here with you all again on this day before Palm Sunday. You can see I'm at a little bit of a different setup. I'm trying out a kind of a place in my home. And I was thinking about it, right here, sitting around in my living room, this is kind of one of the places where I'm most comfortable in this life. And I do so much of my studying the Bible and worship and prayer and meditation and preparing for teaching, and a lot of that stuff happens right here. And I was thinking, where could there be maybe a better place than where I have personally experienced so much intimacy with God, than right here to invite you into my home, into this place. And so I'm going to try shooting some of the videos here this week. If you're kind of digging this vibe and you like what's going on here, please let me know in the comments. And if you don't like it, I also really want your feedback. For those of you who don't know, you can always hit me up on basically any social media on earth at Scott Slater. And I'd love to have some conversation with you. So I'm sitting here this week, and we're just the day before Palm Sunday, and just thinking about getting into this Passion Week. Jesus has been teaching some parables over the last few weeks, kind of getting his guys ready for the inevitable coming of his arrest and his crucifixion and the resurrection that's coming. He's been telling them about this for a long time, and now all of these things are getting ready to come to pass. And I wanted to read to you just kind of a really classic passage. You probably remember from my last video, I mentioned this verse because it talks about how when Jesus speaks, you can know that what he says is true. And one of the verses comes from this passage where we saw that Jesus gives the disciples some instructions, and then they go and they find that everything's exactly the way Jesus says. So that's found here. I want to read to you. This is from Luke chapter 19, and we'll start in verse 28. I'm going to put on my reading glasses because I need them. Starting in 28. And when he had said these things, he went on ahead, going up to Jerusalem. And when he drew near to Bethphage at Bethany, and the mount that is called Olivet, he sent two of his disciples, saying this. And this is the passage that we kind of saw before. Go into the village in front of you, where on entering you will find a colt that is tied, on which no one has ever sat. Untie it and bring it here. And if anyone asks you, why are you untying it? You shall say this, the Lord has need of it. So those who were sent away went and found it just as Jesus had told them. And as they were untying the colt, its owner said to them, why are you untying the colt? And they said, the Lord has need of it. And they brought it to Jesus. And throwing their cloaks on the colt, they set Jesus on it. And he rode along, and they spread their cloaks on the road. And as he was drawing near, already on the way down from the Mount of Olives, the whole multitude of his disciples began to rejoice and praise God with a loud voice for all the mighty works that they had seen, saying, blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest. Now some of the Pharisees in the crowd said to him, Teacher, you need to rebuke your disciples. And Jesus' answer was this, I tell you, if these were silent, even the very stones would cry out. Jesus knew this was going to happen no matter what. And if it wasn't these people here screaming and shouting and hollering as Jesus made his way into the city, even the rocks on the earth would cry out, because somebody was going to be saying, glory in the highest. And it got me thinking about how back then this was Jesus kind of in a final way ultimately coming into the life of those people. And it made me kind of reflect, and maybe it's a question for you. When was the last time you thought about how God came into your life? Or maybe if you haven't yet decided to walk this life of faith, maybe you're wondering, how is it that God eventually does come into my life. And I was thinking about, here's Jesus. It's just a week before Easter Sunday, and he's riding into town, and he's on this donkey, and all these people are shouting and praising and singing, and it makes me think about present day today, that praise and that sense of awe and wonder and thankfulness and gratefulness that I remember when God really radically changed my life, when he came into my world. Now, later this week, I'm going to share with you, and I'll probably put it on TikTok and Instagram, but I'm going to share with you just a little kind of 2-3 minute testimony of what that looked like for me when God came into my life and changed kind of how I became a Christian, that sort of thing. So stay tuned later this week. You can go follow me on Instagram and make sure you don't miss that. I'd love to share kind of my story with you. But as I was thinking about this week and God coming into our lives by sending Jesus to pay this price for us, because he's going to die on a cross. He's going to be buried in a tomb. And the good news is that 3 days later, he rises from the dead, really to the redemption of all mankind. And this is just the good news that I'm really excited about today. I think about that day when God came into my life. I mean, I grew up in the church. Dad's a pastor, always has been. I was raised in Christianity, but this idea of when God really makes it personal and comes into your world and changes things for you individually. I had always known God through family and the church, but that day when God came into my life in a personal way, I think about this story with him riding into town, knowing exactly how things were going to go down. I don't know what things are like for you this week. I don't know what your life looks like. I don't know if you have even taken some time recently to think about it. But I think that's a focal point for this week. I want you to focus on, think about, what was that moment when God really radically changed your life? When, so to speak, he came riding into town, the town of your life, when he came to change things for you. So, I think it'd be good for us to reflect on that. The Bible's always giving us instruction to think about the good things of God, to let our minds focus on what is righteous and what is pure and what is true. And I think focusing this week on just thinking about when God came into your life, because a week from now, in Jesus' day, everything goes down that changes humanity for all history. And so I just wanted to share that with you this week. From Zechariah 9:9, we see this: "Rejoice, people of Zion. Shout in triumph, people of Jerusalem. Look, your king is coming to you. He is righteous and victorious. He is humble, and he's riding on a donkey, riding on a colt." This is Zechariah 9:9. I just wanted to encourage you with that, to think about the fact that Jesus is riding into town at this time in his history, getting ready to pay that ultimate price. And I thought I would send you out with one verse just to remember why all this is so important to us. This is 1 Peter 1:18, and this kind of sums up, and I'll leave you with this week, and then you can look for my video later in the week. And then if you have anything you want to chat about, if you want to talk, have me pray for something, you could leave it down below in the comment section, or hit me up at Scott Slater on social media. Love to hear from you. But let's just read this verse in 1 Peter, and we'll call it good for this week. But I just wanted to remind us why all of this is so important. And this is 1 Peter 1:18. It says this: "For you know that God paid a ransom to save you from the empty life you inherited from your ancestors. And it was not paid with mere gold or silver, which lose their value. It was the precious blood of Christ, the sinless, spotless Lamb of God." That's 1 Peter 1:18 and 19. And I just thought I would remind us all this week why this is so important. Our lives were not lost in sin forever, but Jesus Christ paid a price with his blood. God gave us that gift of his son to die on the cross for us. And in just 1 week, we get to celebrate not only that everything that was foretold about Christ was true, that he came and was arrested and died and was buried, but we get to celebrate that he did raise from the dead, proving that it was all true, giving us the opportunity to have relationship with Christ in this life and an eternal relationship with Christ in the life to come. I hope you're blessed this week. Again, my apologies for not being consistent with getting you a video last week. I think we've got some things sorted out. Again, if you like the new vibe of this setup, let me know, and you can just put those down in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this content, if you get anything out of it, I do ask that you would consider subscribing to the channel. You can click the little notification bell, and that'll let you know anytime I post a video or go live. And if you're hearing the little noises off to my right here, that's my birds who sit in the little cage next to me, and they send you greetings in the name of the Lord as well. God bless you. Hope you have a great week, a great Palm Sunday. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.